My man Greeno, what's up, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Same shit.
It's I got a feeling about this show tonight.
It's gonna be awesome.
We got a full house, man.
I couldn't even fit it on the title. I just put special guest a lot.
Everyone. Yeah, there you go. All right, man. So tonight we got thinking it's 40th anniversary of 1980. Basically,
hard to believe.
Yeah, nuts. We're old.
No shit.
But basically, 1980 kicked off the golden age of metal, really. So of course we're going to be. It's a bunch of metalheads in here. We're going to be talking metal. We're going to be talking other music from that year. Basically everything 1980. Movies, whatever. I think a couple of our guests even got some pictures of themselves from that year and everything else. So this will be a trip.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I guess we'll start bringing everybody in. Are you good?
I'm good, man. Who you want to intro first?
Well, I guess we'll bring in. Let's bring in Aaron, the metal theologian. I think this is. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, thanks for having me.
This is your third time, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's all blur, man. Staying inside. When I was in Cleveland, did I tell you about the news, special segment they had on the news, on the local news in Cleveland? They had a segment called "What Day of the Week Is It?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay, what day of the week is it?" And they had a logo and shit. And they'd be like, "Today is Tuesday." And I'd be like, "Thanks. That was the day of the week, is it?" It's like, man, that's so dead on.
I thought maybe they did a special on Mancave of Doom or something.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Joining us next will be, I think his third or fourth time, Vance from the VK Lounge.
Hey, rock on, Chicago.
That's right, man. 1980 pin right there. What's going on, guys?
That beard is looking nice.
And he wants to cut it. I don't know.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. That's nice.
You'll bring it down,
That's nice. Mine curls up too much.
That's what's happening with me now. It's starting to curl.
Yeah. All right.
Hang on. Pretty entertaining.
Cheers, guys.
Hang on. We got a couple more guests coming.
Yep.
Next will be crazy ass member. He just jumped in.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Thanks for having me back, y'all. Nice to see everybody.
He's got
a little more low key tonight for me, so I'm gonna hang in there. And so we'll see what goes down. So
we're just getting started. We know how.
Never said his eyeball exploded today.
It'll bring my blood pressure down a little bit. Be okay.
Got that classic 1980 shirt on it.
Yeah. It's rough in the real world. You know what I mean?
Right on.
Got the concert shirt on. All right, let's bring in.
And last up,
Scott Waters. What's up, brother?
What's up, y'all?
You know what I mean?
Thanks for having me on.
Concert shirt.
Second time.
Let's bring in. And last up.
If we're pulling somebody got YouTube on or something.
You know what I mean?
Got two Zep shirts on here, huh?
Thanks for having me on. Concert shirt.
it's audio. Somebody watching TV.
I think that's you, Scott.
Somebody's.
Yes, we're doing the feedback.
Hey, mute Scott.
That was weird. What's going on with that?
I
Oh,
don't know.
there you go.
Are you all right now? Can you hear everything?
I can hear everything.
All right, cool.
Yeah, everything was looping. There was a little bit of delay. All right, guys. So tonight, I just kind of had a wild hair, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to get everybody on. And George and I talked about doing 1980, just that year. Yeah, specifically 1980, which is crazy. 40 years ago, man. We're all getting older, long in the tooth. Vance's beard is getting gray.
Fucking Grizzly Adams, man. Look at that. Fuck. Where's you got Ben out in the backyard, man?
Yeah.
that bear is.
Well, I had a pen. I can stick a pen in there and hold a pen in it.
Yeah.
What the hell I do with it? But.
Had a little snack in there too,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll find half of a Kit Kat bar. Like, oh,
there you go. All right, man. So, like we were saying, 40 years, and basically it kicked off the golden age of metal in my mind. Mm-hmm. And it was a kind of a big year for me. I started getting introduced to stuff, and it wasn't just music. There was cool movies and TV shows, everything. So, like I said, we thought it'd be kind of fun to come on and do this. If anybody's watching, jump into the live comments. Everybody comments, like we were saying earlier, is on the video tonight. So
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Could be a little bit quiet in the comments section.
All right, so I guess kind of jump in if you guys don't mind. Oh, I thought about the way to start this. There's 4 big ones from 1980, and I thought we just kind of get these right out of the way if everybody remembers.
Yeah, I didn't even pull these. I never knew what they were going to be.
Well, Mibber's wearing one.
Yeah, absolutely, and I bet everybody knows these 4. First one, of course, is the first Maiden. Anybody want to guess the next one?
British Steel.
Son of a bitch. And didn't these 2 albums, weren't they released on the exact same day and everything, if I remember right?
Something they were released pretty close together, if not the same day.
And then Mibber already got us
Yep.
tuned up for,
Got that in here somewhere.
and then the last one, and I think this is the most important album of 1980, and I think this kicked off the decade for metal for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the one right there.
Yeah, I pulled all 4 of those too, and those were all ones that I was into, man.
If you guys got them, show them, man. Because I was thinking about this. I bet everybody pulled.
Yeah.
And
Pull
again,
these
I
out.
don't have that. I don't have that Black Sabbath. That's the first one with Dio, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't pull all those. I figured everybody else would have them, but I did pull this one because it was just so monumental. At least for
Oh,
me.
yeah. I think we're all into that.
Yeah. That's why I said to Greeno, I got lazy. I didn't pull anything, but the fucking albums I would have pulled would have been those 4 anyway. So
Yeah, I pulled those.
Here,
4
this is 1980.
Oh, there you go.
it's running free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now let me ask everybody: this Maiden, that first Maiden, was anybody hip to that album in 1980? I wasn't.
No, I
No,
wasn't.
81. It was Killers, and then I went backwards.
Right on.
You're the
My
early.
intro was Numbers of the Beast.
Yeah.
In 82 when I discovered Maiden, and then I had to go back. Yeah.
That was
rumor here, man. I was just listening to WLUP in Chicago, Loop Radio. That was it. Radio Kid, popular rock. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, and they didn't, and the Loop, the Chicago radio station is WMET and the Loop here. The first time I heard Maiden was like Run to the Hills, and so that's when they didn't play that early stuff on. They were fast. Well, not at that time, just a rock radio, but they weren't underground to play that first two Maiden.
I remember it was WMMR, WYSP. One of those stations used to have Metal Shop, and I used to hear it on there all the time.
Yeah.
right
Was
on.
that,
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Were you guys actually metal kids when you were like 12 and 13? I mean,
I was.
Really?
I was a
Yeah.
metal kid when I was like 8 and 9.
Yeah.
All right, right on. Okay, yes,
Well,
that's the.
If you want to consider Kiss, AC/DC,
Yeah.
metal, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
okay, yeah.
I got
Okay.
to a
Kiss,
fight with
of
some
course.
kid I got to a fight with some kid in grade school because he liked the Jackson 5, and I thought Aerosmith kicked their ass.
They do.
True.
Yeah, with me, I was just starting to get in. I mean, I was obviously a Kiss fan, and then I got into that Styx and stuff. Journey, Kansas, and then when that AC/DC Black and Black came out and British Steel, what's this? And the volume started going up higher.
Yeah.
Right.
And even with the AC/DC, I still got the old flip side price tag on it.
Still got the old
Chain.
tagger.
Remember the flip side? That was the chain of record stores back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, Back in Black, I remember specifically when, being into that in 1980 when that came out.
Totally.
Anybody else?
And I didn't know anything about Bon Scott either,
Yeah.
So it was just that,
Well, no, I take that back. I'd heard Highway to Hell, the album before.
I might have subliminally known that, but I didn't know the history. It was, when that album came out, Hell's Bells and You'd Hear Shook Me All Night Long. I was like, this is all great. That was the first time I really got it. And actually, I got it on a cassette. The first time was on cassette, and then I got it on vinyl.
Now, how about British Steel? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the other one, yeah.
Not till 84.
I got into singing class first, so that was my first album.
Oh, so you were already aware of them when British Steel come out.
I just had the luxury of having a neighbor who was 8 years older than me that was into all this stuff, so I was getting fed it all the time.
Right. That's cool. I'm pretty sure it was like late 1980 when I first heard Back in Black. So
Yeah, that was one of
It came
my.
out that summer. I looked up the date. So, yeah, same thing here. And that later in that year is when I started getting into it, when I hit the radio.
yeah, by late 80 and 81, Jesus, you couldn't get away from Back in Black even if you wanted to. So
That was one of my first actual vinyl records I actually owned was Back in Black.
really,
Yeah,
That's
REO
cool.
Speedwagon, High Infidelity, Rush Moving Pictures, and then another one that I'll show from '80. But yeah,
Do you still have?
Yeah.
don't have the
Me and
OG.
Mark were right there because those were the big albums here in Chicago. You know,
I have a
up.
copy, but I don't have my eighth
Original.
grade copy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
What about Air Supply? Did you like Air Supply, Mibber?
totally, dude. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As a kid, yeah.
Yeah, as
I'm
a
all
kid.
out of love.
Dude, I was like 12. Dude, I was just discovering my Johnson, man. That was a new toy for me, man. You know what I mean? Okay, give me a break. Yeah, Air Supply, whatever fucking worked. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my God.
Mibber's locked in the bathroom with Air Supply again.
New toy.
What are
you doing in there?
Playing the 8-track in the car at the 8th grade social.
Who's cranking Air Supply? Mibber's in the bathroom again.
Fucking little Mibber wiener was my new toy, man.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's go around the horn here. Did you pull anything else, Aaron?
Oh,
anything
shit.
else? Anything else?
No, you know something. See, I was kind of a shithead, and I didn't. I mean, you actually did say something, but I fucking just spaced. So I didn't really pull anything. So I have the 45 sitting here. So I don't know. I could pull a couple things out. I'm kind of winging it.
I can. Why don't we? Can we discuss some new wave of British heavy metal since it was pretty much the year of that?
Yeah, I figured that's going to pop up in here. So I
Yeah.
figured what we try and do is kind of go around the horn here, so we're not jumping on everybody, trying to talk at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure these things are actually 1980 instead of like 81 or whatever. Here we go. Well, that doesn't say that. Fuck. Someone else go first.
We got David Beck saying, "Hey, so what's up, David Beck?" I don't know if
His
he said hey
dad's
down
all
there.
Maiden with Diano.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah, then
That'd
that guitar player quit Maiden that year, right? And then
Dennis Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude, see?
Was he only on the first album, or was he on Killers also?
Nah, he was only on the first record.
So Adrian Smith come in on the second.
Actually, I don't even know if he was on the first record. I know he was on like Soundhouse tapes and all that shit, but
I think he is.
I'm not 100% sure if Stratton was on. I know he was on the early singles.
Dennis Stratton, guitar and vocals.
All right, cool. Yeah.
He was replaced by who?
Adrian Smith.
Yeah, very good. Okay. All right. I wrote notes. I wanted to have some knowledge of something.
He actually has a new record coming out.
Really?
Yeah. I saw it yesterday on like Blabbermouth. Dennis Stratton has a new band together.
Crazy. What do you got, Vance? 1980.
1980. Jesus, I was probably around between 12 and 13. Turned 13 in the summer of 1980. So obviously, like we all did, we were all into Kiss. Well, by that time, Kiss was fading out. I don't think I bought Dynasty. Kiss was out of the picture. I was getting into more of the corporate rock stuff. You know, Pink Floyd, The Wall came out. You know, that was a big player.
That was a huge player.
That was 80? I was thinking that was...
It came out 79, late 79, but throughout 1980, you know, that thing just took off.
All over the radio, dude. All over the loop. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we played that. Another band, just kind of show you my taste, my wider taste. I made the mistake early on doing buying greatest hits albums. So, like when this came out, bought this Aerosmith Greatest Hits.
Yep. Scott's gonna love that.
Yeah, Deep Purple's, Deepest Purple, best stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Skinner's Golden Platinum, right?
There you go. Scott's got the autograph copy.
Man, mine's autographed to Bridget.
What's that?
Mine's autographed to Bridget.
Awesome.
Right.
That's cool.
So I go and get these
for $1.
Wow.
So I get these greatest hits, and then all of a sudden, I like every song, and then I go out and buy the record, So that's being 13, I'll get these hit songs, and then you find out you like it deeper, and you get deep. I'll start with this too. I was big into I discovered Journey in 1980.
Departure.
And in late 79 with Evolution, and then this came out. This was my first concert, May 27th, 1980 at the Rosemont Horizon, which here, I'll give you something else here. I was into them for a while. And if you can picture I don't know if you want, I can show you a picture of me then.
Dude,
Yeah, go for it.
go full screen,
All
brother.
right, so here you go. Here's little VK. I can show that. This was
Right on.
this was my freshman year ID, but this
Nice.
picture was taken during 8th grade.
Same
You
beard.
know, that fall of the year. So
You kind of look like the nasty metal dude.
It does.
there you go.
That's awesome.
So I go see my first concert at a place called the Rosemont Horizon.
Woo!
I have a jacket,
Look at that.
a satin jacket that I used to wear all the time, right? So there's little VK walking around the hallways with this satin Rosemont Horizon jacket, which is now, I think, the Allstate Arena. Seeing his first show, Journey, out there. And then also in that picture, I'm wearing I can remember, and this is how nerdy I am, I can remember what shirt I'm wearing. It was a jersey with a Charlie Daniels band on it. And this was another album I was into.
Nice.
So the musical taste was really broadening out. The Legend of Woolly Swamp, love that song. So, you know, that was
Didn't they record a live album that year too? Charlie Daniels Band.
they might have that. I don't know.
With Molly Hatchet and Ted Nugent and a bunch of other guys all recording with him. It was like a proceed.
Is that one of those volunteer jams or whatever?
Yeah, volunteer jam. That's it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Wow.
Okay. And then another one was Screen Dream. Ted Nugent.
There you go. You know, Scott's got that at the ready. Yeah.
This one's nice and beat. You can tell this one got played a lot. It's nice and beat up.
Scott pulling out all the autographs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's for Scott too.
There you go.
This was kind of. I mean, I got into these guys with Flirting with Disaster. You know, a year or two before. You know, Danny Joe Brown was in with the band, so it was kind of rough. But beating the odds, I like the title track.
They too had a live album out that year though.
Yeah.
Wow.
1970.
I've never come across that one.
Double Trouble.
That's a hard one to find.
Yeah.
It was only sent to radio stations for some stupid reason.
Oh.
But it's got the live album and then for some dumb reason 2 copies of the studio album in it.
Wow.
They all did. I don't know why they're
awesome. It's because you're going to wear one out.
That's
Because you're going to play it so much.
I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I mean, I got some other stuff I'll show a little later about 1980 as we move on. But that's just kind of the taste of it. When it came to the new wave of British heavy metal, like I said, man, I didn't have any older brothers or sisters, or even older friends that got into hard rock or metal. So I kind of discovered it all through the radio. So yeah, Priest, AC/DC, those first 2 albums. I mean, and also 1980 was a rough year for rock. We lost Bon Scott, we lost John Bonham, John Lennon gets shot in the back. I mean, it was a tough year.
Yeah, I didn't even think. I never even thought about who we lost.
Yeah, it was a transition year. I mean, in a way, and then this new wave comes out of Britain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention all the media was saying that heavy metal was dead for 2-3 years before it.
Yeah. They always said that shit.
Yeah, I pulled the magazine. Look, Circus Magazine, 1979.
Sweet.
Did that survive the 70s?
I wish I saved all those magazines, man.
Look at this one.
Cream, Hit Parader.
Yeah.
Hit Parader was another one I'd get. Circus, yeah.
We should get ready to share that. Do you have the infamous poster with yours?
Yeah, this one has the poster. It never went up, but
this one's actually proclaiming that poster's horrible.
Bib's already got it out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I fucking love that poster.
So when I first got that back in my first set of albums, I got this as well. This is the album I was going to show, but I got another one. But I took this poster out. I'm thinking it's hopefully the band. It's just Dave, and I'm like, what the fuck? And again, if you're into men, that's fine. But my little Johnson likes girls. So so they took this thing out, I crumpled it up and threw it in the fucking garbage. So
went back to Air Supply.
Yeah, went back to Air Supply. That's right, Aaron.
I'm all out of love. I don't know why I remember that band so fucking vividly from grade school. I mean, I was I would have been.
They were everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
It was all over the radio, dude. I mean, not that I went out and got Air Supply albums, but it was on the radio. You couldn't get away from it, man.
Oh
So,
man, them and Christopher Cross, all that
Yeah.
light rock stuff.
Yeah.
you know, that's
REO
what we grew up with.
Speedwagon, like you already said.
Yeah.
So, well, and then so like Saxon, I didn't get the Saxon until Denon and Leather came out, so I didn't jump on that earlier or anything.
I was just getting ready to say it. Most of that new wave of British heavy metal, other than, you know, when you're talking Maiden and early Def Leppard and all that, it's like that stuff was like mid 90s or mid 80s before, you know, Saxon got into me, and
yeah,
you know, it's
longer. Def Leppard, I didn't pick
Def
up till
Leppard
I
did
Drive.
Yeah.
This is 1980, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Def Leppard, right? So-
That's 81.
Is it 81, man?
Yeah,
No,
81.
80.
Because
I thought
was-
High and Dry was 81.
Yeah, no, it's 80, but you know, Def Leppard didn't like to be
It's 80.
associated with that new wave of.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know
I know
why.
I know this was 1980.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, some of those the second tier bands, or you know, like even Angel Witch, it was probably
Mhm.
late 80s, early 90s before I really
Yeah,
heard
me
about
too.
them. You know, I wish I'd have been cool enough to know all those bands as they were happening, but
Man,
There it is.
Scott pulled.
yeah,
Totally.
awesome album.
Saxon. I got the Saxon one there.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Keep holding that up for a second.
You got the white one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
I never understood why they did a black one in the U.S., but
I don't know.
but Saxon actually did 2 albums that year.
Oh yeah, Wheels of Steel.
Yep, they both came out the same year.
Speaking of that, do you guys remember that when some bands would have a couple albums in one year, or
Yeah.
an album every year? Like Kiss seems
Yeah.
like, God, you know, in the 70s, they were just pumping them out.
Mhm.
And now it's like everybody's in Metallica mode. Okay, our last album came out 6 years ago. Time
Yeah.
to record again.
Yeah.
Well, in the 70s, that was the thing. Elton John, I think, put like 3 albums out in a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was routine. They were just, you know, trying to get these hit machines going.
Yeah, it's like
Austin.
maybe that's why some of those,
Boston's the model. You know, one every 10 years or so.
yeah. But maybe that's why some of those bands are more legendary, man. They were just pumping stuff out constantly, to where now, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's every 5 years, maybe 4 years if you're lucky. Somebody puts something out. It seems like.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Kiss
the
was,
first Raven 1982? I didn't think about that until just now.
The first Raven.
I think
Rocket
it's
Tape
earlier than that.
Yeah, I don't think it was 80. It might have been 81.
Maybe it was.
Yeah. What?
I'll wrap up with this one because at least for this early thing, and this kicked off in 1980, and I don't know if a lot of you guys remember, but Monsters of Rock.
yeah.
Monsters of Rock Festival.
Yeah.
Kicked off. This was the first year that they did that. Again, another part of that whole new wave. Probably one of the first metal festivals of the time.
Oh yeah.
With hard rock band outside of the California Jam, but they would mix it up too.
It's awesome. And to get ready for this, kind of give everybody an idea. I have a spreadsheet of my collection. I'm that nerd.
Damn, how long is that spreadsheet, bro?
Like, it's about
Good Lord.
12,000 entries, something like that.
Oh,
But anyways, so I filtered it down to 1980, and this is everything, not just metal. And there's 4 pages of
Holy shit.
yeah, it just kept going. And
I mean, holy shit! You put that much you put that much time into that, doing that fucking cataloging.
dude,
for
I
it?
started doing that like literally the first computer I got, and I still have the same file I got going, and I've just always kept it up. You know what I mean?
That's
So
amazing.
it's part of, which is another idea I would kind of like to get into on one of the shows, is just how you collect and what, like this stupid shit that I do, what do you do for your collection? And, but anyways, yeah, I've kept that thing up for
Wow.
15, 20 years or whatever, back when I first started it, there might have been 4,000 things in it,
So what all is actually in an entry for a record? You got the year.
I keep it pretty simple. It's just the band, the name, the album, the year, and then the genre. So I didn't try and go too crazy. Some people do, how much you paid for it, what it's
Right.
worth.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right on.
if I do all that, I'll never keep up with it. What a-
Dead Wax 66. Nice. There he is.
So that's what Download Fest is now, Donington. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I don't think they,
What do you got, Mibber?
Okay. Well, yeah. So we talked about the Van Halen. That was one of my go-tos. So we got that out of the way. And so back when I was a kid, I'm an only child. So I had the neighborhood kids I'd play with, of course, but I was kind of solitary, and I would build models, like car models. I was huge into building car models.
Mhm.
So I had a little shop in a back porch at my dad's house, Calumet Park, Illinois. And I had the radio on all the time, just build models. The Loop was usually on. I listened to, back in the even talk radio, Steve Dahl, Gary Meyer, all that stuff way back in the day. And so you could not hear this album every day. And that's Rush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. With Permanent Waves, right? I get my, I don't have the my reading glasses on. So yeah, Permanent Waves, Rush. And of course, Spirit of the Radio was all over the radio. And I actually have a sealed MoFi version as well.
Wow, that's sweet.
Just for shits and giggles and collectability. And this is for those number heads keeping score, 2192. And I went over a rant. That really means jack shit about how your record was pressed.
Hey,
back in the day.
not to jump in, Mibber, but did you guys see that MoFi just put out Stay Hungry, Twisted Sister?
No.
It's
No
like,
way.
it's like $40.
Why would they? Whatever.
If $20, I would grab it just to have it. It's a MoFi. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I ain't paying. It was like $38.99, $39.99. It's like, nah.
Kind of losing their credibility, aren't they? Come on, MoFi. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, you
I
can buy
also have
20
a
copies right for that.
I
Yeah.
also have a concert program,
Right on.
tour program
Mhm.
as well.
That's cool.
And pretty rad.
You get to
So
go to
got that.
You get to go to the show?
Unfortunately, no, man, I didn't go to the show. That's again, Time Machine. I would have been there, but no.
Right.
The only time I saw Rush was when they did their Moving Pictures tour of 2010, I think, something like that. I saw them up here in the outdoor venue, Saratoga Performing Arts, and they had really good seats. And they just did the whole Moving Pictures from song one to the last song. Then they played other hits after that, but they did the whole record, and it was amazing, of course. And
Yeah, that'd been awesome.
that's the only time I've seen Rush is that one time, and at least I got to see him once with one of my favorite albums as well by them. So
Everybody here seen Rush? I haven't.
No.
I have, yeah. First time was Signals tour. I saw him. I've seen him a couple times throughout the age. The last time I saw him was Roll the Bones, but I saw Signals, Grace, Under Pressure, Hold Your Fire, and Roll the Bones tours.
Wow. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I never really thought much of Rush, to tell you the truth. I mean, I can hang with them, but they're not they've never been one of my favorite bands or even top 20.
dude, I was gonna pull Zenyatta Modata for you by The Police, man. I know that's one of your favorite albums.
Yeah.
that came out in '80.
Yeah.
But I figured you already had about 5 copies of that, Aaron, so I didn't even want to bring it up. So
I have 5 half copies from breaking them.
nice.
I lost half of one.
Yeah, right on.
Shit. Anything else, Mibber?
Are we doing another lap, or are we just gonna? Let me see what else I got.
Don't have to do them all at once.
We don't have to do them all at once, right?
Yeah.
Did this come out in '80, or am I fucked up on this?
Nope, you're right.
I
No.
thought that was 81, I thought.
Is that
No,
81?
Diary was 81, wasn't it?
You know, I was looking at that too, and I thought it was 1982, and then the thing that says 81, but then all the stuff
All right.
online says 80. So
Okay,
so
it came
then
out in 19
Well, because it came out.
What's that?
It came out in
It came out in
New York.
1980 in Europe, and then in 1981 in the United States.
Well, we're in the same.
The band was originally called Blizzard of Oz,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then
The
it was
first single.
later to Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz.
Wasn't the
So
first
that-
7-inch under the Blizzard of Oz moniker?
Yes, it was, and all the promo photos had only Blizzard of Oz on them, no Ozzy Osbourne on it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, Mibber, that's awesome what you're getting ready to show.
Do you know? Should I show that? Right? I mean, yeah, it's just a soundtrack, right?
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Rock and Roll
Yeah.
High School, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
man. It's a great
We all know
movie.
that one, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Bada bing, bada boom. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next. I'm on. I'm up.
What you got, Scott?
I pulled a lot, like I was telling you, man. I talked to you beforehand. I was like, oh my gosh, 1980 was a killer year.
Yeah.
I just bolted off of the screen real quick because when I said Raven, I'd forgotten about Raven, but they released two
nice.
singles, the Hard Ride single and Don't Need Your Money.
So
single.
both of them was 1980?
Both were 1980. They were formed in like 1974, so they were early, but that was their first recordings was 1980.
So the first full length was 81. Is that right?
It must have been. Yeah, it had to be 81. Yeah, and then here's a couple of more singles.
That's
That's awesome.
I have that.
And then same year,
right on.
I remember because these guys were local guys from you were around that area too. They were huge in that whole Philadelphia, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area back then. And
awesome.
I remember when they promised the new album coming out and it didn't have what's the song on here? What song was it? Not Bad Boys of Rock and Roll. Ladies Boy. It didn't have Ladies Boy on it. We're all pissed because that was like one of their concert staples. Remember that song?
Not off the top of my head. Hey, the pink one. That's the very first one, right?
Yeah, that's the first one.
What is on that?
I'll Never Grow Up, Now and Under the Blade.
Wow. Where did you find that?
Bad Boys of Rock and Roll and Ladies Boy.
Wow. Where did you find the pink one?
This one my buddy Trog ended up finding a copy for me, but I bought it as a new release back just because it was in all the local record stores back then in the East Coast.
Wow,
you can find it anywhere.
Yeah, I have.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I got.
Wow, I've never come across one. That's awesome.
And then we showed the Aerosmith's Greatest Hits with that album back in 1980. I mean, I can remember walking around my big ass boom box on my arm playing that album over and over again, but also this one. Joe Perry.
Joe Perry project, right?
Oh yeah. Good, nice.
So yeah, there he is.
I knew you would pull that one. I thought about pulling it, but I knew you would.
Yeah, I still love this album to this day. It could have been an Aerosmith album. I mean, put Tyler's vocals on it, it would have been an Aerosmith album with that nasty 70s sound on it.
Yeah.
Now, did Aerosmith have an album in 80 besides that Greatest Hits?
No, in 79, Night in the Ruts, and then they skipped all the way to 83.
Wow.
In the meantime, Joe Perry Project put out 3 albums in that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Tyler was too busy killing himself.
I think the first time I saw Aerosmith was 82 without Perry on that Rock and a Hard Place tour. So
I saw 83. I saw on the same tour.
Okay, yeah.
And that was with Crespo, right?
Jimmy Crespo and Rick Duday.
Yeah.
They were great. I loved them that tour, but that was like my first big concert, and there was a lot of drugs being passed around, and I indulged. So I remember more of my feet sticking to the floor than I actually do the concert. But that's cool.
Did it smell good in the audience? You remember that at all?
I don't remember. All I remember was smoking a lot of crap that I probably should have been smoking.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I got a few non hard rock or metal albums I can show real quick. I actually pulled a couple favorites from that time and a bootleg since last time I was on here. You guys asked about bootlegs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a couple too.
Genesis from the Duke tour in 1980.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was a huge Genesis fan back then. I still am. But here's the Duke album. And,
yep. And I was going to pull that one, but yep.
This album has hits on it, but it also has a lot of prog on it too. It's a a mixture of both. I stood out in line outside of a Ticketmaster or whatever the heck it was back then to see that tour with a bunch of buddies of mine all night long. Maybe had 10 people in front of us in line. Got there and they said it was sold out.
Jesus.
It was crazy.
I remember going to those the record stores or whatever and waiting for tickets. You go out there the night before and wait out all night.
All night. That's what we did. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
It was a big party. Somebody sneaked some beer from somebody's house.
Exactly. And there's another non-metal one.
Yep. That's a good one. Yep.
Peter Gabriel 3 doesn't really have a name. His first 3 albums were untitled.
It's a face melter.
Yeah, face melter. This is still my favorite Peter Gabriel, but there's an English version and then the German version where he sings everything in German.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool. it's kind of neat hearing your favorite album, one of your favorite albums, and then all the lyrics are completely different from what you're used to hearing.
George, you see Dead Wax's last comment?
Oh yeah, look at that.
With Rose Tattoo. That's
Rose
interesting.
Tattoo.
Yeah, that was the show.
Wow.
Was that the same lineup for you, Scott?
Aerosmith and Pat Travers. Was no Rose Tattoo.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the show I was at. Yeah.
I saw them at the
Wow.
Spectrum. And then they played like 2 months later at the Spectrum again, and Anvil opened up.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they played twice at the Spectrum in like a matter of 3 months. You know,
That's the other thing too. That's how I learned a lot of bands that he's open. You know, I was big into liked Aerosmith, and then I never heard of Rose Tattoo, and then who are these guys? You know, and you discover these, the opening bands. I wish I, would, at the time, like bought the shirts and shit of the opening bands. I never did,
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I remember a lot of times in the 80s when I'd go to shows, it was a lot about the opening bands, man. It's like,
Really?
Ozzy with Metallica opening, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was.
and I was a huge Dokken fan, so I would go
Yeah, me too.
Aerosmith. Yeah, I would go see Aerosmith 2 or 3 times because Dokken was always opening. So,
Yeah, and at that time, like I said, I didn't know older brothers, and they all like Maiden. Those guys played like the Aragon Ballroom in the city. I was, 13 years old. My parents were going to let me go. Then nobody, forget it. Or to go see Rush at the amphitheater on the Moving Pictures tour and anything like that. It wasn't until later. So I look back and these shows that came through town, like, why didn't I go to that? Oh yeah, because I was fucking 12 years old.
Yeah. I didn't have a whole lot of money growing up either, man. To go to a show like that and just to have time to go to a show like that, I just never had the chance.
Yeah.
But,
one more. I
I was too
don't know if any of you guys are into this band, or I know Aaron's probably the only one that probably knows them, but Resurrection Band, Colors, 1980 was their third
that's a
album.
new one.
Right on.
Yeah, they were on Light Records. These guys were out of Chicago, Illinois. So still in Chicago, Illinois.
No shit.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
They put on that huge festival. They put on that huge festival every year that was out in also in Illinois, but it's not in Chicago. But it was Cornerstone Festival. It was like a week-long festival, thousands of people there, camping everywhere. Wow. In any case, then they all lived in this, and the whole band lived in this big house in Chicago where they took in homeless people and fed the homeless and did all this really cool stuff.
Wow.
Nice.
That's over my head, man. Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
Never heard of them. And we're from Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm building models and playing with Little Mibber. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You have that one, right, Aaron?
I don't think I do. I have to go look, but I don't think so.
I know you have the first two.
Yeah, I have the first two, and then I have the one, Mommy Doesn't Love Daddy Anymore. What's it called?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and then I have the 2 later ones, too, but I don't think I have that one.
I think you sent me one, Scott, if I remember correct. I can't remember which album it was, but I think somebody did.
I might have. Whenever I find them, I buy them up and send them to other people. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's where mine came from.
There you go. Right on.
I appreciate that. They're good records.
Yeah, it's just straightforward, heavy rock and roll. I mean, it's, kind of has it in 1980, but it still has that mid 70s kind of sound to it. Mm-hmm. They definitely were the still hippies at the time.
Right on. Well, how about you, George? You said you didn't pull anything?
No, I was fucking late. I think everything I pull, I figured everybody else would pull anyway. So
yeah, I figure.
I'll let the special guest take care of all the.
There's one more huge album. I'm surprised nobody's shown yet.
We got a couple. We can do another round. Go for it.
Do it. Yeah. How about?
I got a couple. If you don't mind, I definitely pulled that too, man.
Yes, so did I.
Great album.
Yeah, I did too.
But
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a promo copy, gold stamp.
Their early discography confuses the crap out of me, but.
And this I came across somewhere, same deal, autograph. Can't read any of the autographs, but had to grab it. But that's their second album, right? Am I remembering correctly?
That's what I'm saying. I'm always confused by it because did they had 2 before or 3 before? Because it was really convoluted, those first 2 albums.
And then this just got reissued. I know George has this.
Yeah, I love that.
Are you guys familiar with this? This is basically Merciful Fate without King Diamond.
Wow.
And a lot more punky too.
Yeah.
What's that? What'd you say, Aaron?
Oh, and it's a lot more punky.
Yeah, it's kind of hard rock punk kind of thing. It's not really full on metal, but
yeah, it's not really punk either, but it has some real punk moves to it.
Yeah.
I saw an HR logo on there. HR High Roller. Is that High Roller?
Yep, High Roller. They just did it not long ago. I had a boot of this for a long time, but High Roller did it, and they did a real nice job. Of course, they always do. Mm-hmm. And then one of the big ones, underground ones that I didn't hear about until
Matthew Hunt's on.
Right on.
Matthew Hunt. Matt Hunt is the owner of Retroactive Records. One of the guys I work for.
Right on. Thanks for joining, man. But like I said, I didn't hear this until Metallica basically turned me on to these guys and Diamond Head, and this is another High Roller reissue.
Let me see that. Wait, that's a High Roller label on there?
Yeah.
I have that one too. They did a fantastic.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's the the original release with some bonus stuff, and it sounds great. I mean, of course, High Roller.
That's awesome.
Yeah, High Roller always nails it. So this one's a little out of left field. Turn the Hell On from Fist.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Wow, nice.
So that's early new wave of British heavy metal on Neat
Records.
Definitely
very cool. That's
Aaron,
obscure for me, man.
Aaron, what do you think of this? I mean, are you more about the single? Was it name, rank, and serial number, or did you like the album also? Or?
I like the album, but definitely that first single is special. I'm looking for that Diamond Head right now. Give me a sec.
Cool.
You're asking about it,
Yeah, I got one more kind of metal. And this is a god awful album, but I remember being so excited when this come out.
Oh my god!
There you go. Yeah.
It's awful though.
Just that fucking cover, man. Jesus Christ!
Just to see him without makeup, holy shit, man! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Honestly, if you think this was as a kid, I'm 11, 12 years old. That's the first real Kiss member I'd seen, actual with no makeup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because they hadn't done the unmasking yet.
No, not till 83.
Right.
So
David Beck just called the one I was talking about.
Yeah, I almost pulled that too. There you go. There's an original.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's like hand drawn on here. I'll show it. Oh, fuck it. It's kind of cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, you see that? Like they're imitating the logo on the first 45.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, they're going for this.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's better than the album.
This is pretty awesome too, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, is that in pen or is that just like printed?
It's ballpoint pen.
Wow, dude.
And you can tell they're like European because of the handwriting too. Like if you look at that, like that I and shit, that's not an American. I don't think that's a British person either. I think it's Continental.
Right, yeah.
I could be wrong about that.
Dude, that's insane.
That is.
It's weird to get the trouble to put it on the spine too. Hang on.
No way.
I don't know if this will show up, but
That's handwritten on the spine.
yeah.
Wow.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, they did the labels too. Check this out, because this is it's the first pressing with the plain labels. So those, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm guessing that's pretty much irreplaceable.
I'm glad I got it when I did.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
got.
When did you get that?
Huh?
How long ago did you get that?
2000-ish.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was like before. It was before I discovered eBay. I'm pretty sure. And it was probably, so it might have even been late 90s, like 99 or something like that. But yeah, I found some guy in Sweden who had this and a copy of Rock Snacks. And I was like, bam, it was the most I'd ever like spent on records, like in pop. But Actually, that's not true. Well, maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, but what would it cost today to replace that?
Yeah, I've been a little bit surprised when I've looked.
Wow. I'm guessing you're the only person I know that has one.
I've never seen that. I mean, actually, somebody holding it. No.
My buddy Frog has.
Late breaking news from your Chicago fans. Mike McCaskey, former head of the Bears, died today.
Wow.
Sorry, VK. Yeah. So, my buddies are texting me. It's all the Chicago boys are firing it up on the text. Chicago. Fuck them.
Maybe they'll actually do something good now.
Fucking assholes. No, not my friends. I'm saying McCaskies. Fuck them.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Bears one of Adrian Belews' bands, though? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, no, I think it was an album or something he named it Bears. Adrian Belews.
Yeah, because
right.
Adrian Belews, that's like one of the only shows I ever walked out on.
Okay. Either an album or he had a band. I can't remember, but yeah.
Hey, that's funny you just said that. This is totally down the rabbit hole. I was trying to remember the name of a band from Pittsburgh I'd seen before. And then I remembered they opened up for this show. This was in Morgantown in '89. This is a show I walked out on.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were playing, this bar is called The Edge in Morgantown. It was only there for, I found this flyer online, so I printed it out just kind of to have it. I was trying to remember Necropolis. They were out of Pittsburgh. But anyways, they were playing this little bar called The Edge, and it couldn't have held more than like 40 people. And we went and saw Necropolis, and they were great. And it's like, who's this next band opening? White Zombie. They're out of New York. So we see them come walking in. They're carrying their own gear. They unpack their van. They're setting up. It's like, oh, this ought to be cool. And man, I just remember walking by and they stank. They were just like, must have been on the road for 6 months or something. And they're setting up everything. And then first song they break into is Cat Scratch Fever. And they were still playing covers. And, you know, Rob Zombie doing Cat Scratch Fever. And then they did Detroit Rock City. And then they started playing an original. And it was like, let's get out of here, man. They were awful. They were really bad. And then when I found that, somebody that posted that was like, you know, it was the guys from Necropolis were talking about playing that show. And they were like, it was a great show to play with White Zombie. Nobody knew who they were. But I was around the corner at the Underground Railroad, which is another bar, because Fugazi was playing that night. I'm like, fuck. So I was wasting my time watching a shitty White Zombie with Fugazi playing right around the corner. I had no idea. Anyways, that was a rabbit hole. It's just funny you said you walked out on that, and it made me think of that White Zombie show, man. It was god awful, man.
That's funny. I think I'd rather see White Zombie than Fugazi, though, especially bad White Zombie.
Back then, I probably would have. Fugazi back at that era would have been cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I never really got Fugazi though. I always thought they were boring.
To be honest,
all those Discord bands I think are boring.
Yeah, that's how I didn't get into well then either, but I dig them more now. So. Which makes sense why I was there watching Necropolis instead of Fugazi.
Did Necropolis ever make a record?
No, they did a couple demos. And what got me looking for that was, I don't know if I sent you the 45 I found, Doom Watch out of Pittsburgh. I found their first 45.
I don't think so.
And I don't know if I sent you a picture of it. I just got it the other day. But anyways, it got me thinking about, damn, it's like, I saw Necropolis 2 or 3 times there in Morgantown, and they always had this one band opening up, or Doom Watch, I'm sorry. And they always had Necropolis opening up, and I couldn't remember their name. So I'm online trying to figure it out. And then I came across the White Zombie thing. I was like, fuck, I forgot they opened up for them too. So rabbit hole, sorry. But
looking back on it, do you wish you would have stayed for the whole zombie show, or you said just forget about it? It sucked that bad.
Not a fan even of their later stuff.
Okay, gotcha. All
the
right.
Thunder Kiss song and all that was cool, but that was kind of it for me. I just wasn't a big fan of them.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, but
better story.
They were White Zombie in name at that point. You know, the first album I think had just come out or getting ready to come out, so they were still doing covers and and I mean. I can say I saw them at that point, but I don't really remember other than not liking it and leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they stank. But anyways, Scott, did you say Trog has the diamond head also?
Yeah, he's got one of those white label copies, but the whole front cover is signed by the band members.
Yeah, this one isn't signed. It used to bother me, actually, but I read somewhere that they didn't all get signed. Like, most of them did, but some didn't, and people just did that with the covers. So when I first saw it, I'll be honest, I kind of went, what the fuck?
Now, have you seen other ones that are like your copy, where they wrote all the song lyric or song titles and everything? Are they all
I've
like
seen
that?
pictures, yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't seen another one, like, held in my hands.
Huh.
That's unique. Yours is unique. I don't think I've ever seen one quite like that.
That's awesome.
I've seen pictures of ones where they did a much better job than this one, But in a way, I kind of like this one more for that.
Right on. I got one more thing I'll show you real quick before we go over to Aaron. I couldn't find any like really cool pictures of me in 1980. However, I did find pictures of my room about 80, 81, somewhere around in there, which I thought would be kind of interesting. See that?
Man, I wish I had pictures of my room.
Looks like my room.
Yeah.
I would love to find that Kiss poster again. I don't know what it came out of. It looks like it was folded.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
And then
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I wish I saved my kid. I had a huge Kiss poster, man. I wish I fucking saved that thing.
do you remember these hats?
Yeah, the painter's caps.
Yep.
Are those circus mirrors or those carnival mirrors on there on the wall?
Yep. Except for the Van Halen, I think was just a picture, but the other ones
I actually still have one of those from 1980. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. I've read all that.
I have a few laying around here somewhere, and I like how I got the space shuttle.
Yeah, nice.
I forgot all about this thing.
You had a TV with knobs on it.
Oh yeah,
You got the TV with the knobs on it, bro.
absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right on, man.
Won it at the Seaside Heights or something like that up in New Jersey.
You shoot the clown in the mouth with the water, and he fill the balloon up, right? And get one of those.
Something like that, or the race horses, or one of those.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
Do you know how
do it
fun
like
it was to do that?
before you finally win it.
They don't even do that kind of stuff anymore, man.
Nah.
That's
Yeah, I got a couple of those. I should pull those out. Those carnival mirrors.
hell yeah. I
That's the
found
only one I have left.
I found a few years back at a flea market or flea market, whatever. Picked them up real cheap. Like even like there was like a Bon Jovi in there. It's like, I don't care. It's from the 80s, man, for $1
Yeah.
or whatever, I'll pick it up.
I remember the one I remember, and I traded it for a Zeppelin one, but it was the Black Sabbath, but the glass, it was black. You know, it wasn't a mirror, but it was a black mirror, and it had the pentagram and the seance kind of thing looking Sabbath one.
That's
It
cool.
was the coolest thing, and I traded it for a Zeppelin one, but somehow I should have found something else to trade because I wish I still had that one.
What's what these two? Did you notice those, Vance? The Rush and those.
Okay, yeah.
Those are
that black mirror, yeah, that stuff's cool.
well, that's actually like black felt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's like
Oh, that's
printed
awesome.
on there. Yeah, and those, I actually won those from the carnival or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you put a black light on it, it would kind of glow. One of those things.
Nah, it wouldn't glow, but it was like a black felt with the logo
Yeah.
printed on top of it. Yeah, but it wouldn't glow.
Yeah.
Wish I still had those.
Yeah.
No, I know, man. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so let's clear up this accept confusion, okay?
Yeah.
Just because on a position here. So this is,
What's up, Darren? That's Darren Hildebrand.
hey. So this is the first one.
Right. And that's just self-titled, right? And then didn't it come out
Yeah.
with a different title also?
Yeah, I actually held out for specific pressings because I wanted the brain pressings. Because even though that was a prog label, just the idea of accept being on a label called Brain just struck me as funny. All right, so that's the first one. This is the second one. And this is probably the same. The first song on this is I'm a Rebel. It's probably the same as the one that you showed, Greeno, because there are a couple different covers.
Right.
So yeah, there's
That's
that.
why it's so confusing. There's so many damn covers for these things.
Here's the track listing. Is it basically the same?
Oh, I can't see that.
It's blurry, yo.
It's the right number of songs. I can see that.
We got Save Us. It's the second
Yeah,
track. No Time to Lose, Thunder and Lightning, China
Yeah.
Lady, So basically, that's the same album, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And he has that belt buckle on the back too. Look at that. Fuck.
Can you
It's
take
like
it?
the funniest thing ever. Can you see that?
Hold on.
it's,
What is it?
it's like lace.
All right. So that's the second one. Then this one,
Breaker.
which is probably my favorite, actually, Breaker. I love this record.
That's the one that has Son of a Bitch on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure is.
So I'm a Rebel is the second album, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the fourth one.
That on Brain too?
Bam.
Go on.
That's actually the one that took me the longest to find. Yeah, and this is just a regular press of this one. Actually, I paid $25 for this. All the new collectors. Like, I kind of didn't care, but it was $25. I was like, well, I'll take it home. And then it turns out it's actually great anyway, even though the one song is super played.
Shit.
So,
When's the last time any of us? When's the last time we ever spent $25 on a fucking record? When's the last time that ever happened, dude?
Been a while on a good record, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So, dude, did you just skip Metal Heart?
I don't have Metal.
What? What is wrong?
I don't know, man. I think that one's kind of stupid.
Oh,
But here's the thing. Back then, I thought Russian Roulette was kind of stupid too. And when I found it and like came at home and put it on, I was like, "This is great." You know.
wow.
So next time I see Metal Heart, I'll have to grab it. But yeah, I don't have it.
See, I was never a big Russian Roulette guy. It kind of grew on me over the years, but when it first came out, I was like, I don't know, because Metal Heart I thought was great.
Metal Heart was so much more melodic and commercial than anything that preceded it. I remember everybody saying it was a sellout record when it came out.
Yeah, I remember that too. At the time, I liked it more too, but like I just like in retrospect, it hasn't aged well in my memory. You know, I haven't heard it in years. So
It's a great album. I like it. It's just more melodic and cleaner production than all the other albums.
They were definitely stepping it up. I mean, they were coming into the mid '80s and trying to compete with everybody. You know, it was. But I saw them on that Metal Heart tour opening for Dio. Wow, that was an awesome show. That was the year Dio had the big dragon and everything blowing fire. Yeah, we were like 7th row, and you could feel the heat coming off that thing every time they would blow the fire. What was that?
Wow.
Aliens.
The fuck?
I have no idea what that noise is.
Sounds like a synthesizer.
What do you guys think of David Reese on vocals? Music Bolt.
Generation Clash.
Did it go away?
No, it's still.
Who's it coming through?
what's the sound? Maybe it's me. Okay, I'm going to go on mute. Tell me if it stops.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you, Aaron.
Yeah.
I said shit.
Yeah. Damn.
Can you still hear it if I turn it all down? Fuck.
Wow, it just started. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing changed here. It's actually really quiet in here because I'm usually listening to records, but when we're all on here together, if like everyone's listening to music, it sounds like shit. So.
Yeah. It don't sound bad now, whatever you just did. There it is a little bit.
God damn.
You might have the audio up a little too high or something.
Yeah, I need a tinfoil hat. Yeah. That probably would. That's why I used to keep the voices down.
All right, what else you got, Vance?
Well, let's see. I know. I'll leave a couple for movies later. A lot of the stuff that obviously I went back, but to show some of the '80s albums. I don't know if anybody was going to talk about Boys for Cults.
That's cool.
And I mean, I didn't get into this band until Slide It In came out, but Ready and Willing by Whitesnake.
Yep.
And yeah, and then great live album.
Yeah. I was the same. It was Slide It In for me also. That was the album that I first
and it's But when this being Chicago, I have a nice little blues album that came out in 1980, and I'll show here. This was recorded live at Chicago Fest.
Nice.
See if I can get that right.
Right
See
on.
some of the bands there. We got like Muddy Waters on here, Coco Taylor, Willie Dixon, Mighty Joe Young, Sun Seals, Lonnie Brooks. This was recorded by the radio station out here, WXRT. Look at the old Olympia beer logo there. So
Dude,
this was all live. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say I've seen that before. I don't know if I have a copy of it. I've definitely seen that. That's a cool cover.
Oh, snag it if next time you see it. Yeah, I'm sure you have a copy in 12,000. Come on. But yeah, it's a nice little live album. Chicago Fest was something they did on Navy Pier, and it was like a week-long deal or something like that, or maybe just a few days. I don't remember. I was kind of young, but tons of bands would play there, and I think Iron Maiden's debut was at Chicago. I think was at Chicago Fest as well.
Wow.
Because they talk about them. But yeah, this was something I definitely had to bring up. It's 1980, a blues album there. And I don't know if we're gonna do a round of bootlegs later. I could save those for that.
Go for it now if you want. I didn't pull any
All right.
boots actually.
All right. Well, let me see. The bootlegs. Two bootlegs I pulled from 1980 shows. Obviously, and I'll bleed this into the next thing I'll show here. This is Led Zeppelin live in Zurich, Switzerland during the 1980 European tour. Nice triple album set.
Wow.
So yeah, I love this. This is great. And then being that I was really,
I was gonna say, is that an older boot or is that something newer you've picked up?
this I probably got in the late 80s.
Oh, okay, so it's older, yeah.
Yeah. This one I did get probably 82 again. That's when when the record buying really had kind of my first job and all that kind of stuff. So money. But this was Pink Floyd's When the Walls Come Down. This is the entire Wall show from Syracuse in February of 1980. Being again, was listening to The Wall, even though it came out late 79. Listened to hell, shitload out of that throughout 1980. So wanted to hear. They never came to Chicago on that tour. I think they only did like 5 shows across the whole planet on that tour. So that was definitely a boot that I wanted. I've had that probably since 82 or so. And the other thing I'll show, just to get this out of the way too, obviously, I got to talk about Zeppelin wearing the old school silk screen shirts. You remember these? You buy in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
In 1980, Zeppelin was going to, they were doing that European tour. And we all know Bonham died on September 25th. Well, this is a newer poster of the newspaper advertisement and when the tickets were going to go on sale for the 1980 shows in November at the Chicago Stadium.
Cool.
If you notice, the ad that you had to mail in for the tickets was on the Chicago Tribune. That paper came out the morning of September 25th. So there were lines to get this paper to order their tickets. By that night is when news broke that Bonham died.
Wow.
So to get, one of those things that is my grail kind of one of those things is that actually a newspaper ad to have. And I only know one person that has that, and I'm still trying to mooch it off them. But what I do have are the tickets that were printed up. I have this here.
Wow.
These are the actual tickets.
Like real deal tickets?
Yeah. These are the actual tickets for those shows.
Wow.
And the story behind this is the company that and you can still buy these online and stuff. This company that bought these tickets, they're already printed up, ready to go. This guy bought them, they found them in some storage room at the stadium or something like that. This guy buys all the tickets, and now he's selling them for, now it's crazy money. This wasn't too bad back when I got this in '94. But this is kind of my nerd thing here. So yeah, these are the tickets for the 1980 Led Zeppelin shows in Chicago. And
dude, that is very cool.
That is really nice, man. Yeah, that's a sick wall hanger right there.
Yeah, pretty one of those things there. And then I just picked up this little poster. I thought it was great.
That's awesome.
Once I get that framed, they're gonna they'll go up together. And then I got some other stuff. Maybe show if we get into movies, just some soundtracks, but
right on.
Which I'm sure there's one everybody will show probably, but
What was that newspaper from, VK? That newspaper? What's the date?
It was the Chicago Tribune, and September 25th issue. And they had a big full page, and it kind of shows it on this picture here. It's hard to see, but there was a whole full page ad that you had to cut out and mail order the tickets. You know, you had that's how they were doing it. You couldn't wait in line. You had to get the newspaper, fill out the form, mail it in, and you get the tickets back. And I remember doing that for the Who. That's the only time I ever did that for the Who, back in '82 as well. But
dude, have you ever shown that before? I don't recall you showing that in a video before.
No, I haven't. I never showed that.
That's pretty killer.
So this is an exclusive.
Da, da, da.
Yeah, but man, I have one guy I used to work with has that newspaper ad, and he framed it. And on the date of the quarter, it's September 25th, 1980, and the whole ad thing. And then and then they broke up by December, so that was done.
Wow,
that's my nerd alert there.
Awesome.
I didn't know September 25th was the day. That's Spencer's birthday.
Really?
Yeah, he turned -21 that day.
Damn. What's up, Mebber? What do you got?
All right. First, let's go back in time. I pulled my class photo from.
Here we go.
All right. A little Mibber. Here we go.
Love the Brady Bunch haircut. That's awesome.
Right? Totally. So that's the little Mibber from 1980-ish.
Dude, you were a punk.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Dude, I was a dork, man. Yeah, I was a dork. But weren't we all?
Absolutely.
Come on, man. I mean, dude, think about the time and the era. I'm just going to go through a few. And Greeno, are you going to show any Ramones at all?
I got it in the stack here, brother.
All right, I'll leave it up to you then.
No,
Okay,
you go for it. Go for it, man.
Okay,
you got it. You're first.
Of course, we got this one, right? Edge of the Century.
Yep.
So I pulled that one out, okay? And we all know that one. And let's see, The Clash. I don't know if you guys are really into The Clash at all. Sandinista.
Right on.
Also another 1980. I actually dig this. I'm not a big Clash fan, but I do dig this record. And then you could not go 5 minutes on the radio without hearing this dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gary Newman. This the Cars tune, right?
Yep.
And then a couple more. This is Joan Jett. This is she had this, and this is actually signed in pen by Joan Jett on there somewhere.
That's killer.
So I got a little Joan Jett. And then just going off of one that I showed that tile from the Blues Brothers movie, so I figured I might as well show the Blues Brothers soundtrack. That was 1980. And then a little nerd alert. If you want to just kind of run through this, this is my OG.
Sweet.
Oh shit.
Fucking tattered box. I had to go to the attic. I went up in the fucking attic to get all this shit right. So this is my OG in television. And did you guys ever have this?
Yeah.
The ColecoVision, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had ColecoVision. That's.
I mean,
that
you
was the first game I had.
you had to slip like a card in here with the shit you had to press, and kind of complicated, but it spent hours, and I could only find one. This is the original, the blackjack that came with it, and the game looked like
cartridge.
Right on.
Cartridge for that fucking piece of whatever. And I got the inserts and shit. So,
do you have a TV you can hook that up to still?
Dude, I don't. No, I don't care. Probably not. Why would I want to? I don't know.
Hook that some bitch up.
Yeah, right. Play some blackjack.
There you go.
Fucking blood pressure goes way up and fucking pop another eyeball. But. And then, of course, I got to show, one of the movies from. Now, I don't know if it came out in '80 or I think it came out in '80 or '79, but it played. Now, hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Get there.
Got to play some pinball real quick.
Sorry about that. I flaked. Okay, now back back in the day, okay, when you had cable TV.
Oh, shit.
Man.
That's
We
crazy.
had one of these, right? You remember these?
Hell
I do
yeah.
remember that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is the first ever cable box. I had this exact one, the Gerald one. And when you had those, the like the adult channels,
Uh-huh.
our buddy, we're on the bus driving to school. My buddy's like, dude, you know what we can do? He's like, you got to set it to the channel, and then what you do is you get up there and you press it down about halfway, and the scrambling goes away. Dude, you got one hand on the button and one hand on the little mibber. Oh, dude.
I play that thing like a damn piano trying to get that shit to come in.
Right? If you just went a little like a half a millimeter, fucking went scrambly again.
Right.
Okay, so then my mom, actually a buddy of mine, one of my best friends back in the day, and I lived with my mom during the week and my dad on the weekend. So we had cable, and we were able to watch the movie 10.
Yeah.
Remember that movie 10?
Yeah.
Oh, Derek, right?
You're gonna get a shutdown, aren't you?
Is that gonna happen?
I hope not.
Fuck, good. I showed him last time.
Do it.
You gotta have Bo Derek's movies.
Yep.
Dude, there you go, man. I got this hanging in my my music studio. Little inspiration.
Awesome.
Okay, if we get shut down, that's well worth it, right?
Absolutely.
All righty. And then just one more. We got to bring back the 80s era Bush.
Oh,
jeez. All right, next. That's it.
Oh, shit. That's
Hey,
awesome, man.
I'm going in flames, man.
Dude, what year did 10 come out?
Good question, man.
77, 78?
Somewhere in that. But
I thought it was 1980.
Was it 80? It may have been.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
79 or 80. But dude, they just Oh,
man.
And dude, just to watch that with my buddy and my mom sitting on the couch, and when her fucking dude running off, or when she's in, dude.
Air Supply come on real quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's all I got, man. I mean, I got I don't want to bogart it. I got Tom Petty that was out, and you want to show any Scott? You want to show the Scorpions that came out that year? Did we show that one yet?
No, I'm show
it. Yeah.
What's that?
Show it.
Yeah.
Show it.
Did this come out in 80?
Yes,
or no?
it did. Yeah.
It did, right? Okay.
Yeah, it did.
Let's see here. The Cramps. You guys into the Cramps at all?
Mm-hmm.
This is one version of the. I think this might be a bootleg or some songs the Lord might have taught us. A little Cramp action there, and the Joy Division. This one came out in 1980.
Damn.
And Alan Parsons Project, that was on the radio, but that's some Styx, Paradise. You got that one that came out in 80. Talking Heads.
That was a massive album in 1980.
This one, dude? Yeah.
You couldn't go anywhere without hearing that album.
No,
totally.
Yep,
I got the Talking Heads. I got that one that came out. And then I got Gaucho, Steely Dan. I do dig Steely Dan and Air Supply. So
1980. Holy crap, man! What a year! I mean,
yeah,
just
dude,
all the way around, man. Not just metal. But it's crazy.
Yep. Scotty, on to you, man.
What you got, Scott?
Well, we showed this one a minute ago, but we skipped by it so fast. I thought this was a fantastic album.
Oh yeah.
And it's got one of the coolest covers ever on it.
Yeah, it's cool.
You gotta love the Cultosaurus Erectus. And it's one of the only Blue Oyster Cult albums where you gotta really look hard to find the little upside down question mark symbol on there, but it's on there. It's right there. Let's see if I can show it or not. See that little plane flying by the dinosaur?
Yeah. Nice.
It's on the plane.
Holy shit.
It's little, but it's on there. But it's on every single Blue Oyster Cult album. So let's see. You showed that one. Oh, nobody showed this one.
I know. I can't believe it.
I didn't pull it because I thought everybody would pull it.
Yeah.
Somebody I think I saw Dead Wax say it on the chat over there.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Bill Bafford, Rocks Records.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't have a vinyl copy of it.
Really?
On CD, yeah. I just never.
Yeah.
Never find. Now I can't find one. That's an older one. It's
It's a classic in my. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just
when I want to hear Motorhead, it's not the one I go to because it's just a bit overplayed. But I mean, the deep tracks are great. Matter of fact, the song on here, "Love Me Like a Reptile," I begged my wife to let it be our wedding song.
That's awesome.
She wouldn't go for it.
What do you guys think about the next album, Iron Fist? That album gets a lot of shit, but I like that album.
I like that record too.
yeah, that I do have. Yeah,
They just tried to repeat Ace of Spades. It's very similar.
Well, I've always heard,
production-wise, song-wise, yeah.
I've always heard that Lemmy hated it because it basically wasn't done whenever the label released it. You know, they released it too early, took it from them and released it. But
I love the title track. Matter of fact, I did a cover of that song on one of our albums.
There you go. Yeah, I've always loved that album. I don't know why. The band doesn't like it. I know that, or didn't like it. Yeah.
Angel, Live Without a Net, 1980, their last album. They were kind of on a downward slope at that point anyhow, going from being that kind of pop prog band. They were, I guess, believing all the hype that metal was dead, so they were doing they were going for a more pop sound.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I never got to see the classic Motorhead lineup. You've seen Motorhead like 10 times.
What the panel thinks of Vinyl Boots.
I love them.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Love them.
We're always showing Boots.
I love them. Yep. And another one from the new wave of British heavy metal. I just did a video with these guys.
I thought about that one too. Yeah.
It's very much. What's that?
I don't have that record.
Why?
Exactly.
I was never in front of me, and I had the cash in my pocket and nothing else that I wanted more at the same time. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan though, but I haven't spent that much time with them. So
I mean, that particular album is real raw recording, and it's kind of, to me, it sits right in the same category as Motorhead and Tank, and even like the first Tigers of Pantang, that kind of sound with female vocals. I mean, these girls weren't trying to be, poppy sex symbols. They were all wearing leather and looking all scuzzy and kind of people I probably hung out with during that time.
Now, do you have any girls' school, Aaron?
I don't think so.
At least the first couple, I would think.
Yeah, their first single came out, 79, I think.
Something like that.
79. Yeah. I got a couple more I can show real quick here. I always consider this band a new wave of British heavy metal band too, although the singer for the band is obviously been around a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
But Gillan after Ian Gillan left, Deep Purple, he did the Ian Gillan band thing where he's doing all that weird jazz fusion stuff. But then he formed the band Gillan and with John McCoy and all those guys, and they were great. They were playing all those festivals with all those other British heavy metal bands. So Glory Road, this is just a U.S. pressing of it.
Who was the guitar player on that?
Bernie Torme.
That's it.
Yep. Who went on to join Ozzy before doing his solo stuff?
Yeah.
Who's that out, dude?
He did Ozzy for he only had 3 or 4 shows with Ozzy for some reason.
Well, they asked him to join, and he didn't want to join because he wanted to do his solo stuff.
Yeah.
He did the Electric Gypsies album right after it, but that kind of didn't do anything. These came out the same year. Ian Gillan live at the Reading Fest, 1980.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Got a giant. That's the center label on the thing. The thing's a freaking giant.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Yeah. And I got one more I can show. I got a couple more I can show, but here's another one that a lot of people hate, but I love this era of UFO.
Right, I like that album.
His album's heavy. It's great. Everybody hates it because Shanker didn't play on it, but I mean, it's a great album. The title track alone is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. It's a great song.
Yeah.
I was just going to go grab that too. The first Shanker album, Michael Shanker Group came out.
Yeah, that's 1980.
Mm-hmm.
You mean this one?
Oh, there you go. I spoke too soon.
You got all bases covered here with these 6 guys.
I know. I should know better, but
This cover is so odd because he basically went missing. I mean, he left, just disappeared right in the middle of the UFO tour. They had to fly in another guitarist to finish the tour. He was gone. Nobody knew where the heck he was, and all of a sudden he shows up, and that's the album that comes out. And this weird cover with him all attached to these electrodes, like some aliens abducted him or something like that.
Let me ask, what's everybody's thoughts overall on him, on Shanker?
Oh, he's a fucking asshole.
Well, I'm talking guitar wise. I
dig him, dude.
Yeah, I think he's good,
yeah.
but man, he's like in the.
He's up there.
Yeah, some people talk about him like there's none better. I mean, I think he's an awesome guitar player, but I don't quite put him up there.
I saw him live 2004. It was him and Yuli Roth playing together, and he was great, but he was nothing compared to Yuli Roth.
Really,
I agree. Yuli's definitely better. Yes,
Roth was just everybody's jaws were on the floor, and I went to see him in Hollywood of all places, and so there was it was weird watching all these like rock stars walking around with girls or hugging onto him, and they were all there to see Yuli, and all of them were just. The place was silent when Yuli was playing. It was amazing.
But does he tour much now?
Yeah, I just saw him. I just saw him probably last year, twice now, probably in the last 2-3 years. He.
Are you talking Shanker or Uli John Roth?
No, I'm sorry, Michael Schenker. Okay. And he had all of his 3 vocalists. Robin McCauley was there. Was Gary Barton, and then he has like a new guy or something he's doing some new projects with. So they all came out and did their songs. I think he called it Michael Schenker Fest or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was a small place here called the Concord. I saw him. And, he's still fucking jammed. I mean, he's up there and he had this smile on his face and his little goggles on his hat and playing the Flying V. And I thought it was great. I mean, I never saw him with the Schenker. I never saw him with the Michael Schenker group. Except for, no, that's true. I did see him a while back when they did like a reunion.
That's cool.
This is one of my grandkids. This is my granddaughter. She just came in and asked me to help her put her shirt on. So,
beauty. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, go see Daddy.
Save Michael Schenker.
I was actually cranking a record right before you guys got on here. I was listening to a test pressing to approve it, and I had it cranked. And she walks into the room. She goes, "Pop, you need to turn that down. It's just too loud."
Oh man. Hey, you mentioned Macaulay Schenker or Robin Schenker, Robin McCauley. Jesus, I always liked him, man. I thought he was a killer vocalist, man. Because what, he come out of Grand Prix? Wasn't that the first band he was with?
You got me on that one.
And I have something he did in the 90s. I can't remember the name of that band either, and it was pretty killer.
You know something about Robin McCauley? When that fucking record came out when MSG was like McCauley Schenker Group, there's that picture of him on the cover. I was like, fuck that guy.
that hair?
Fuck that guy. I've never owned that. I've like 2 earlier MSG records, but that McCauley one, man, fuck him and his goddamn
I can't see that being in your collection, Aaron. Knew that off the top.
One more?
Blackfoot.
Yep. Deserve that 8 either, by the way. Just,
Still very much sound like a 70s Southern rock band, but they're pretty heavy and for Southern rock. And it's funny because they were really popular in Europe more so than they were here.
Oh, I never knew that.
That's why when their live album came out, it was only released in Europe. But I mean, I remember seeing, because you used to get Kerrang and all those magazines back in the day, and they'd be on all those magazines, but you'd never see them in Cream or Hit Parader.
Huh.
But actually, I showed you guys this earlier, but this is from 1980, and there's Blackfoot right on there.
That's awesome, man. You have those magazines.
Yeah, this one says, "Back from the dead, heavy metal, here comes the Goon Patrol."
I wish I saved those. I cut them up and stuck shit on my walls.
Yeah, me too.
My lockers and.
I've reacquired a lot of these. These are stuff I've had since then, but there's another one from the same year. But
I'd snag them if I saw them.
Yeah.
I always like to show this one to the people who say heavy metal didn't exist in the 80s. I mean,
the people who say that didn't exist in the 80s usually.
That's the problem. Or the 70s, yeah.
What year did you held that book out?
What's that?
What year was that book that you just held up?
Which one?
No, the last one. No, the other one.
1980.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Cream. There was the best of Cream. The best of Cream heavy metal. This one.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Barely. So okay.
Yeah, it's AC/DC, Queen, Heart, Van Halen, Rush, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Boy, the way I chased it. Well,
I gotta
you
bring
know,
up-
I'm gonna have to jump.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to jump off here.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys want to keep going,
We got to take a dump. What do you got? What the fuck, man?
I'm not feeling so hot right now.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I
Sorry,
don't
man.
know, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but
All right.
I'll remove myself and then you guys keep rolling.
Okay, man.
All right. Hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Text,
Take
Bye.
an eyeball. Okay.
text me later, dude.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Right, George.
See
See you,
you
George.
later.
Oh, hope he's all right.
Look at that. I'm right in the middle here.
There you go.
Speaking of George, that's actually my first name is George.
Really?
Yeah, most people don't know that. I did, but nobody's ever called me that, including my parents. So
Another Man Cave exclusive.
Tonight. Holy shit.
that's how I can always tell when it's like a salesperson calling me because we'd like to speak to George. Click. If you don't know my name,
That's your middle name?
yeah, my middle name.
Yeah. All right.
It was one of those situations where I was like the fourth in a row, firstborn son kind of thing, and my parents didn't really want to do it, but it was like they couldn't offend their parents, so they named me George, but they never called me that. They always called me Scott. So,
Wow.
but I broke that tradition real quick. So
you're George Jr.?
no, because I'm fourth, so I don't know what that is.
Oh, fourth. Okay. Holy snap. Okay. Yeah.
It's a quad.
So you get mail. It's George. It's not Scott.
Yeah, it just depends who it's coming from, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like
Bill's
the IRS. The IRS sends you something. It's George.
Right.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right.
Serious. All right. I guess I'll show a few. Actually, Garner showed this the other day. We had him on Rubber City Rebels.
Yeah.
And these guys were Toledo punk band. Very cool stuff. 1980. And of course, we've already seen this tonight.
Rubber City Rebels?
Yeah.
They're not from Toledo. They're from Akron.
Yeah, you're right. Why? Gotcha. I don't know why I said
Aaron.
Toledo.
City, man.
Nice.
With my Cleveland background, I can't let that slide.
Keep me straight, man.
Dude.
If you fuck up Pennsylvania, I don't care.
This I just came across, and I don't know anything about this band other than I freaking love this album. I've had it for like 15 years or something. The Lonely Boys. Total UK kind of punk, but real catchy kind of stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about this band. I don't know if they did any other releases, but man, this is a fun freaking little. It's not a snotty. It's not like a snotty punk or anything like that. It's a cool album. And I got like three more. Of course, this came out in 1980.
Oh yeah, I like that album, Emotional Rescue.
I
Yeah,
don't have a copy of that yet. I got to get that.
that's kind of a weird album actually, but it's a cool album.
Isn't Beast of Burden on there too?
I think so.
Yeah, the poster with that thing's massive.
No, Beast of Burden isn't on here.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was the same album.
I don't think I have the poster.
Yeah, I have a sealed one that has the poster, which was wrapped around the outside.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's kind of neat. Yeah.
I ain't gonna open it up.
Hey, Aaron, we can't hear you, bro. What do you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better there. Yeah.
Weird. Maybe it's some muting and unmuting. I just said I think Beast of Burden is on Some Girls. That's
There
all.
you got it. Yeah, I
Oh, that's
can
it.
hear you.
It's on Some Girls. You're right. I don't have that one either.
Last two, I had these two on cassette because I traded packs of firecrackers to this kid for both of them. It's one of my first music trades.
Oh, firecrackers.
And I love,
Were they the Black Cat version, right? Remember those?
Yeah,
oh,
just,
Thunder bombs.
in the red pack, open them up. And
oh, dude.
I think
Come on, man.
I think I traded him like 5
I'd be the guy that would go and blow up Mibber's models. with those.
Right? Yeah. I used to blow up little army men. I used to stick it at the army men and fucking light it up, and the fucking army guy would blow. Those little green plastic guys. Remember those?
Oh, you're the guy on Toy Story.
Yeah.
You're the neighbor in Toy Story.
Man, my dad, when I was a kid, lived close to the Virginia line. So I grew up with my grandparents. So when he would come to visit, he'd have to go through Virginia to get to my grandparents. in Virginia, fireworks were legal. He would stop and just buy all these fireworks, come home, and then sell them to his friends and make money on them, you know?
Nice.
We always had fireworks around everywhere when I was a kid, like 10, 11 years old. I was constantly fucking with fireworks. I was trading them for albums, so, you know. But anyways, I traded a kid 5 packs of fireworks for these 2 albums. And I love both these albums. I think Aaron mentioned it earlier.
There it is, Eagles.
And same with this, man.
Yep, got it.
Got the poster.
Yep.
Right on.
Look at that. Look at the size of that crowd, man. It's fucking. I mean, come on, dude. You don't think those guys got laid that night? Give me a fucking break, dude. Come on. Yeah,
how
great.
How freaking big were they in the 80s or in the 70s leading up?
Insane.
They're huge.
Insane. Yeah.
And that Speedwagon album, I mean, that was the album you played, you know, when you had the girlfriend over, you know, at the High Infidelity was all over the place. Number 1 album.
Yeah.
That album.
I remember taking the 8th grade trip, so that would have been like, spring of 81, and I had that cassette of AC/DC, and I brought that REO Speedwagon cassette for the girls, you know what I mean? You know, so.
Aaron, do you have that in your collection? You should.
No.
Oh.
Actually,
I'll get you a copy.
Like Scott said, why?
I don't have that one either.
What?
I don't have that one. I don't have the Eagles one either.
Do you have any Eagles? Are you an Eagles fan at all?
I have nothing by the Eagles.
Wow.
I like Southern rock, but there was just something always corny about them that I couldn't deal with. I don't know.
They were a little more country.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's something I've noticed through the VC, because I know Dixieland Farm Chris, he hates them. You know,
really?
he despises them, right? So it's like it's a love or hate thing, and a lot of people in the VC, you'll see that it's kind of split down the middle there.
You know what the Eagles are is like if you're living in Southern California and it's 1976 and you haven't quit doing coke since 1970 and you're stuck if that's a band, it's the Eagles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's weird for me with them is I don't care about the California connection. I hear the country in them, the country rock, which I know is that California thing that was going on, but I just like it for that. Yeah. Especially those early albums, man. I mean, there was banjo going on and some of that shit, man. It was awesome.
I don't hate them like I used to, but I'm no fan.
Yeah.
The soundtrack of my youth, man. That's just part of it. You can't get away from it. It was all over the radio, man.
Hell yeah.
And again, it had the 8 tracks. My parents had the 8-track player in their car. My dad had the records. My dad, listened to the radio and just a soundtrack. You can't get away from it. So.
Hell yeah.
And that was another band that they split in 1980. So there's another transition going on there.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. 8-track.
Nice. There you go. Yeah. 8 tracks. Good Lord.
I've only got like 6 or 7 of them. People have given to me. They're just display things. So
yeah.
Same with me.
I'll show you my favorite one though, if I can reach it. Sorry about showing my butt, but LJ gave it to me. It's still sealed.
Wow. That's cool.
It was never opened.
That's killer.
LJ.
It's rock and roller, but it's look how it doesn't fit right into the thing.
Sick. Yeah.
Go back.
I wonder if that was a truck stop special.
It was it says Preston, Canada. Anyhow.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Usually when I get 8-track tapes, I ship them off to LJ or to Jeff from the VC because those guys actually play them and have players. So.
LJ and Mr. Bizarro, he's big into them.
Yeah, but Jeff, I can't remember his last name. You know, Jeff, he's a huge Kiss fan.
I
can't remember. He's been around forever too in the VC, but
probably no. I just can't think of his.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. Aaron, Mr. Bizarro, hell, he just had a couple 8-tracks made. You see him where he was showing those? I think it was May Blitz or something. I can't remember what band it was. Yeah, he found somebody online that he bought the carts, old stock, new, whatever. Send
I
it
don't
to
know.
the guy. He puts it right on there. He makes the covers for him. That's like crazy, man.
I don't know.
But it's just different music on the actual cart is a different music. They just puts a new label on it, correct?
It's a blank cart. You can still get them.
Okay.
And he ships it off, and the guy puts it, records it on there.
Oh, okay.
Prints up the cover and everything, puts it on. Yeah,
nice.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Okay.
One of my friends on Facebook had this one made up.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought that was cool.
Mr. Bizarro's in here. Someone say,
"Oh, here he is."
Yeah. You got to have a lot of patience with those 8-tracks.
Yeah, man.
There you go, Mr. Bizarro. There's another one I haven't showed yet. That's almost half my collection right there that I just showed you.
I have none.
I have a couple. They're the old pink ones, and they're Led Zeppelin ones, and they have the slip cover that went on them. And they're packed up. I would have brought those out, but
there's another one.
Those are cool.
That's cool.
Jimi Hendrix and Curtis Knight. Nazareth. Play the Game.
Nice.
And Black Sabbath, Sabotage.
Right on.
That's my whole collection.
Mine's about that big. I got like 4 or 5 Kiss and a Boston and something else.
Yeah, and I know 8-tracks were still, in 1980 were still popular.
They were.
My first one was Ace's solo album. So that was 78, but still, that was the first 8-track. Probably the only one I got.
My buddy had one in his car. My dad had an 8-track player. My buddy had his car, and there was a store called a 5 and Dime store. Remember those?
Uh-huh.
And I think I bought like 10 of them. And I think they were 50 cents each. I bought the Sex Pistols, Great Rock, the Sex Pistols, the first album. What was it called?
Never Mind the Bullocks.
Yeah, Never Mind the Bullocks. I bought Thin Lizzy, Black Rose, which isn't that a 1980 album too?
You may be right.
Yeah, anyhow, I don't have those anymore.
That's
my first car had an 8-track player, and that motherfucker ate up my Song Remains the Same 8-track. That's when I pulled it out. I said, "You fucking thing."
What car was it?
I had a 1977 Oldsmobile Cutlass Salon, which was a little different version of the Supreme, but yeah.
Cutlass.
It was my dad's car. I bought it for him for like $1,000 or some shit, and that fucker ate up my 8-track, and that's when I went to cassette.
I had a white 77 Monte Carlo, and it had that red kind of half vinyl roof. That what do you call that? And I had an 8-track player in that too. But what a beast, man! That hood was.
That's that shit you boat down the road,
right? Yeah. And also, I drove a '75 Ford Elite. If you remember those things, like a Ford Torino or some shit like that back in the day.
That's another
thing
one.
Thing was just like that. Oh, it had like the velour seats, the bench seat in the front.
Hell
It was good for
Had the ashtray in the door.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Mr. Bizarro said it's Emo Cow Records that offers the 8-track service.
Okay, there you go.
If anybody wants to have something put on 8-track. I think we're getting kind of towards the end. I was looking over the list, some other stuff we may not have touched on it from my collection was see what we got here. B-52's Wild Planet. Devo Freedom of Choice was 1980.
Yeah.
Frank Marino.
What was the big song off of that Devo album then?
Ooh, you're gonna have to.
Whip It came out 82 or something? 84.
That video scared me. That Whip It one, and there was that other Devo with that fucking ha 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 ha. Remember that fucking video? Yeah. Dude, that kind of freaked me out when I watched that on MTV. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys? Fucking
I felt like that when I saw them on Saturday Night Live, and they have the orange suits, and they're just kind of like robots. And I was like,
I just saw on Facebook. Remember the red hat things they wore?
Yeah.
You're making them now with face shields for COVID-19 with the Devo hats and the face shields.
Why did we think of that? Come on, man.
A to Z, The Witches of Berkeley Live. That's 1980. That's new wave British heavy metal.
Tigers of Pantang, Wildcat. Nobody showed that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't have that one. But Scott, go for it, man. Or George.
I didn't pull it. I just knew it was 80. I had a list that as I was writing them down as I was thinking of them. I didn't pull them all though.
We had Angel City had 2 albums, Dark Room and Face to Face.
I have
Yes.
the Psychedelic Furs came out with one. This one
That's on here. Yep.
there, and then this Journey. That right? Did we show that one yet? That Journey.
Yeah, I got that too. I
You
was
got
going to
that
show
one?
that, but
Yeah.
that's
all
an
right.
unusual album right there. That was for a soundtrack for a film in Japan, and I don't think
Yeah.
that ever got released in the U.S.
And then this one was a.
Buggles.
This is the first actual song played on MTV was from this band, the Buggles.
Video killed the radio star.
What was
There
the
you
guitar
go.
player's name in the Buggles?
Let me segue into that, Mibber. So
Good question.
two of the guys in the Buggles go to Yes from
That's what I was
1980.
going to say. Yes,
There you
drama.
go.
Really?
And-
I never knew that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. The guitar
Jeffrey
player.
Dowd
That's what I was
and
There you go.
what's his name? Horn.
Wow.
And then this was it. Yes breaks up after this album in 1980.
And then they reformed with the two dudes and the Bugles and put out 90 whatever the heck it was.
90125, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not till 83, but yeah.
Yep.
Let's not forget Alice Cooper flushed the fashion.
Yeah, I almost pulled that one out too. It actually says 1980 right on the cover.
Yeah, that's the weird era Cooper stuff
This
for
one,
me.
this one came out.
That's the cocaine era. Nectar, Man in Motion came out that year.
We got Ethel the Frog. That was some more semi new wave British heavy metal, I guess.
I showed Tom Petty, right? We showed that one already.
Girl, Sheer
Oh,
Breed.
yeah.
How many times have you all played that Ethel the Frog record?
What's that?
How many times have you played that record?
Maybe once or twice. If I remember right, it's not all that hot.
The song though, Eleanor Rigby. You want me to never play your record? Make Eleanor Rigby the first song.
Yeah, put any Beatles song on it.
Yeah, dude, any cover just about, unless it's something great, you know.
Do we really need any more Beatles covers?
But
Hey,
yeah,
Aaron.
Eleanor Rigby.
Aaron, wasn't 100% Proof also that 1980 new wave British band, British metal band?
I don't know though. I don't really know them.
Oh, they only had the 2 albums and 1 single, but either the single or the album I think came out in 1980.
I think you're right. I've just seen that on lists, so I've actually never heard them.
I have the second album, which is really good. I mean, it's just straightforward heavy metal, 100% Proof. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not like super heavy, but it's good.
Right on.
Nobody pulled Kiss Unmasked.
I figured somebody else would.
No, that's where they lost me.
I
That album was-
I only own one Kiss record, and that's that. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's the it's a glow in the dark record.
Creatures of the Night.
Night.
And I got it sealed. I'm not gonna even fucking over. I of course grew up with Kiss, but I don't need to hear Kiss anymore. I'm done.
Praying Mantis. Yep.
That's cool.
Nice, dude. That's sick, dude.
Vinny Poncia destroyed that Kiss record.
What's that?
What'd you
Vinny
say?
Poncia destroyed that Kiss record, Unmasked. The producer ruined that record.
We have Crocus.
Are you guys
Rendezvous.
Kiss freaks by any chance? Am I the only Kiss freak on here?
Nah, I'm a Kiss freak.
No, I grew up with that too. But I lost.
Think
I grew
about
up
it.
with it.
You had 4 solo albums that came out all in '78, all at the same time. 4 different producers, and the one that did the best and sounded the best was Eddie Kramer. The one that was the worst and sounded the worst was Peter Criss, Vinny Poncia, and that's who they decided to use to record Unmasked with.
I hated Unmasked at the time, just like The Elder, but both those albums have grown on me.
Oh, I like them too, but it's the production that ruins it because they took an album that could have been. I mean, Ace has 4 songs on there.
Yeah,
and he was always the rocker of the band, and he just robbed the band of that rawness, that rock and roll sound, and tried to make them a pop band.
Yeah, it was much more radio friendly for sure.
Yep.
We said Crocus, Metal Rendezvous. Nobody pulled that.
I almost pulled that one too.
Manila Road Invasion.
Oh,
I almost pulled that, but okay.
Come on, Aaron.
I have that one. I didn't pull it. Oh.
MSG, we got Rose Tattoo, Rock and Roll Outlaw was 1980.
Yep.
Anybody mention Frank Marino?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't pull it. It's
Okay.
What's Next was the name of the album.
Yep, that's what he put. Yep. Okay. You guys are the knowledge that you possess, and again, I'm a piker, man. You guys, insane.
What pressing is that, Aaron? What's their label?
This is a Roadster,
Oh, right on. I have the high roller version.
and this is You know where I got this one actually?
I think mine has a different cover.
Way back, you know Shadow Kingdom Records, right?
Of course.
You remember way back before he was Shadow Kingdom when he was still Evil Legend Records? He like turned up some, yeah, that's why I lucked into this shit. He like turned up some dead stock on these Manila Road records. So I got this and I want to say Mystification and maybe another one for like $20 each.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Now this first pressing cost me a little bit more.
Okay, that's what mine looks like. Yeah.
And the back of the first pressing is different too. It has that. You can see that in the thing.
That's what the high roller one looks like that version, as opposed to this other one you showed.
Yeah, like this one, the white one.
Yeah, it's different.
That's the 82 pressing, right? I think that's the pressing I have.
So that sounds right. Yeah, this copyright 80 and 82.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Didn't Black Dragon release it too?
What's up, memories? Like what? What the?
I
Fuck?
just say, dude, the knowledge is just. I'm a piker, man. I'm just learning. You guys are just amazing.
Yeah, we're all fucking.
I got when the VC started back in, I was like maybe a year or two like after it really started. But again, my collection was more just stuff I grew up with, and and a lot of '90s stuff. And then I start watching Greeno, and I forget who else, but my metal collection was for shit, like real like metal, And so I watch a couple Greeno videos. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I go to Last Vestige record shop, which is in Albany, and I go right to the metal section. I think I bought maybe 30 fucking metal records, like all the good shit that they had. And that's what started me, buying a little more metal is Greeno. So
that's cool, man.
And get me into that groove in the era. And then I don't have a huge metal collection, but like Aaron, of course, is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
He got me into some shit, like the Leather Nun and all that good stuff. And the Dead Serious, all that cool, obscure stuff. And that's a whole nother, in Rocks, ROXX, and not Rocks Records, but the band Rocks. And anyway, so thank you guys for helping me spend a lot of fucking money.
Dude, the VC can humble everyone, man. As soon as you step in, you're like, yeah, I got this covered. And then you start meeting all these guys. It's like, holy fuck, man. I got a lot to learn yet. And I still have a lot to learn. Yeah.
So shout out to you guys.
How about Triumph Progressions of Power?
Yeah, it was really got into Triumph big time.
Yeah, I never got into Triumph.
Hold on.
I also think it's a lot of a regional thing too.
What is that?
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Nice
I want that shirt. I want that shirt and what's underneath that shirt.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit older now.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, a time machine, then I'll go there. Yeah.
Oh, that White Spirit album with Yannick.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
I have that White Spirit.
Yannick Gears, however you say his name, with Maiden now.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Pat Benatar.
Oh, Pat,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
do I have that White Spirit? I don't think I do. I'll look for that next time.
It's on my list. I've got a bootleg CD of it. I want the vinyl.
Yeah, Pat Benatar had a record in 1980, and that's the one that Skeeter colored and gave away to.
I think that was her debut, right?
Well, she had the black outfit on. Remember that? The black.
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't know what that fucking.
Crimes of Passion. Crimes of Passion.
I love that picture from 1980 right there.
Look at that. Yeah.
That's
Def
awesome.
Leppard, right?
Yep, Def Leppard. Yeah. Look at the shirt he's wearing.
I can't make it
out. I can't see it, man.
Aerosmith, Night in the Ruts.
Okay, nice.
Or it actually says Night in the Ruts and the N and the R crossed out and right in the nuts.
We have Blondie, Auto American.
I don't have that one, but yeah, I saw that.
Where we at?
I went down the Wikipedia rabbit hole on 1980 records, the whole list. And I'm like, going, okay, I got that one, and I got the Zenyatta Madonna for Aaron, and I got.
Remember the Star Cars Cream magazine?
That's cool.
That was sick, dude.
The car. My favorite one was, and it's not just because it's Aerosmith, but the Joe Perry one because his was the blue Mustang that was all just smashed up. He smashed while he was drinking and driving.
Hey, Scott, did you see that? I don't know if you know of a show called American Pickers.
Oh yeah.
You know, did you see that they did that van, their first actual tour van of Aerosmith?
Yeah, they found that van. Yeah, it's in
that. Okay, cool. Yeah, how cool was that, man? To get that restored, to kind of to working condition. Really cool.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. Just to the amount of money they got for that thing, they made a killing on that.
Where's that van at now?
It's in a museum.
Who is that? I can't tell.
Ted Nugent.
Holy shit!
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why he's good. He started that young. Good Lord.
Oh, we got Jay Giles, Love Stinks. I actually like that.
Yep, I saw that in that list. I don't have that one.
That was big radio play there.
All over MTV. And then MTV came out in 81, right? And then so if you had a video in your, like if you were a 1980, 79, 80 band and MTV came out and you had a video, you were fucking automatically record sales went up because you had your video. I mean, videos were who the hell shot a video in 1979 or 1980? What was the point? But,
I've been surprised at how many there are, though. Like on YouTube, you can go find them,
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen shit where I'm like, what the hell was Bang doing making a promo video in 1971? I mean, I just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know that Bang did. But, bands of like that caliber where it's like, you've heard of them, but they're not like Black Sabbath where there was a budget behind them,
Wasn't that kind of going on in Europe before MTV? I think
those shows. They had those shows like the Old Grey Whistle Test, and if the band couldn't come in live, they do a video. Same thing with here, John Krishna's rock concert, Midnight Special.
Midnight Special, yeah.
So if the band they didn't have the band, I remember them showing a video of somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those early days of MTV. In fact, there's some website that I came across that has like all the, and probably even on YouTube, like the first 2 hours or whatever. And there's some crazy off the wall bands. But you're right, Mark, with the if you had a video and MTV was just whatever they could find, they just throw it on in those first days.
I remember just watching that. I mean, me personally, I'll speak for myself. I would just sit there and watch that channel all fucking day.
Oh yeah,
all day.
I had to go over to a friend's house.
Because you can finally see what the band looks like, and I'm like, that was mind blowing. I know, again, this is 80, but come on, 81, it's the same fucking shit. But
Hey, so what was a video that freaked you out when you were a little kid then? Because someone mentioned one before. It's an open question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, me was that the Devo,
right.
Ha 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 with that fucking I was like, what the fuck is that? And he had that kind of like a I don't know what the fucking caricature was, but it was like a big baby or some shit. Fucking it was fucking way out of fucking left field for my little brain back then.
Right.
Did you ever see the video for Jeopardy by Greg Kinn?
Yeah.
That fucking, I was like, what the fuck? It was like midnight and that thing came on and I was like,
yeah.
Like a 9-year-old Aaron.
The one for me that made an impact and obviously got me into the band was the Number of the Beast for Maiden.
Yeah.
They had a couple dancing, they turned into the werewolves, and then fucking Eddie comes out like, what the hell is this, man?
The first ones I remember was like Dio, Rainbow in the Dark, and Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. I remember they used to show that a lot, man.
Yeah.
It was like,
So we had HBO Video Jukebox. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
Although I do remember when HBO came out, they had that aerobicized chick. You remember that fucking chick? Dude, she be doing this fucking shit. Remember that? She be fucking in that like leotard fucking, she be fucking doing all those fucking things. Do you remember that at all, dude?
Yeah, it reminds me of that Eddie Murphy movie. Goes, boy, TV has changed.
That's what it was, dude. It was fucking aerobicized. And again, as a 13, 14-year-old, it's like, whoa, dude, this chick's got the fucking, she's doing this. You can see right up her little, yeah. Dude, I'm still fucking 14 in my pea brain, man. Come on.
That's awesome.
That left an impression.
Yeah. Fucking aerobicized.
Actually, in the 80s, remember there was a ton of those shows.
Oh,
yeah. There was one late at night that had like 3 girls exercising. I can't remember what the hell it was called.
That's probably what I'm fucking talking about. It's like, a white studio, and they had their like bathing suits on.
Yeah, it was like right on the edge of like, is this an exercise show or is this?
Dude, it was fucking perfect for a 13-year-old.
It's not Dukes of Hazzard, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Shit. Anybody in the comments remember any of that? Come on, anybody? Are we putting you guys to sleep over there? I don't see any of that. All right.
So we talked about Blues Brothers was 1980. This
Yep.
isn't the best cover, but Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was yep.
Probably the
I got
best.
a couple soundtracks here.
We got.
Remember the Final Countdown?
Oh, that's an awesome movie, dude.
Yeah, about the USS Nimitz. It goes through some time warp, and then they end up just before Pearl Harbor. This is a promo copy, actually, I got from the radio station, which is kind of neat.
I've never
I pulled this because I always like the cover. And then, of course, you got to throw some cheese in there. Come on, Xanadu. I know you all got this, right? Come on, you guys all got it.
Yep. It was all over the radio, man. Come on, give me a fucking
Olivia.
break.
In fact, and I just recently found this out. The original cover had Olivia's face on here. She didn't like it, and they took it off. So there you go.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie. I need to.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through. It probably was on HBO sometime, and I was like, oh, okay.
Isn't she on roller skates through some of that movie or something?
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that. I think one of these pictures she's on here with that. Yeah, here. Roller skates.
Nice.
I probably picked this up for free or whatever, but it's actually a promo copy too. So.
But I think Flash Gordon come out in 80, right?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Queen soundtrack.
Yeah.
Try to find a copy of that.
That's the only time I saw Queen too on the game tour in 1980.
Try to find a copy of Flash Gordon that doesn't have a saw cut through it.
Really?
Yeah,
Every
right.
copy I've ever seen has a saw cut through it. Yep.
The cutout, yeah. I don't have a copy of that soundtrack though. But yeah, I didn't pull the game. That album, that was another album that I listened to, and then I went to go see him in concert in September. And that was like the last tour was 82 for the US, and that was it.
I like that album now, but when it first came out, it turned me off to him because I was like, what happened, man?
Yeah. Well, this was something I was going to bring this up too. It's very interesting on the regional thing that we have. I mean, me and Mark could probably agree on the time. We listen to that, Styx and Speedwagon.
Totally.
Kansas, remember a band Off Broadway? They were huge here in Chicago, and they had a hit "Stay in Time" and all that. And then, like Scott said, Twisted Sister was huge out there in that tri-state area. At that time, I didn't know a Twisted Sister till MTV. That album broke. And I find it interesting, just the different regions of what people got into, and it was kind of based on what the radio stations were at the time. We didn't have any heavy metal stations till the late '80s. So it was just that rock station, top 40 rock kind of stuff.
We had one in Philadelphia, but it was just a show called Metal Shop.
Yeah. Since we were a major market, I don't remember Metal Shop until later, like on Z-Rock or something like that, or somebody syndicated it. But we didn't have that for a while. We would get the, I think it was Bruce Coburn or something like that in concert. They would show, play live concerts and stuff. But as for like hard rock metal, until like WMET, I still have here's a pin from them. These guys were one of the first stations I remember hearing Maiden on, that Run to the Hills. I was like, okay, cool, what's this?
And we had a metal station probably like mid 80s, 85, 86 that popped up. 107.
We had an underground station here called WVVX, Real Precious Metal. Mm-hmm. And they only licensed time from it was an ethnic station. So like during the day it was like Polish and Spanish, and then like around 9:00 at night, these guys would.
Sorry, VK. This is that aerobicized shit. Now you're 13. Now give me a fucking break, dude. All right.
Exactly what I was thinking of, dude. That's
okay. I'm watching this, eating like vanilla wafers and milk, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're adjusting your shorts like. Oh, man.
I had to get that on here. I had to fucking look for that. Sorry. Okay.
So.
That's awesome. All right, guys. We're about 2 hours in.
Yeah.
I think we're all 1980'd out.
Are you able to end this without George, or how does that work?
I'm hoping we can all just kind of log out and it'll shut down and
it says leave studio. Yeah.
Maybe you should text him. Maybe you should text him, say, "Come on back down and wrap it up."
Yeah, I'll let him know. I hope he's all right, man.
Right on, man.
Fellas.
Have me on
Nice
again.
sharing this time with you.
Thanks everybody for coming on again. We'll definitely everybody will be back on. Yeah. If
The
nothing
OGs
else,
There next time.
yeah.
The
If
OG's
nothing else,
in the house.
nothing else is fun. Just getting on there shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. I got 2 days off. Gonna relax.
Decompress a little bit.
Dude, it's
Hey, go
hard.
see
The
an
real
eye doctor
world.
about your eye.
How are you guys doing in the real world? Can I end it with this? Are you just? I mean, what's going? I mean, you guys okay? What the fuck, man? This is in fucked up times, man. Jesus Christ! I don't want to go off on a tangent. I know we're ready to wind it out, but dude,
I'm still on lockdown. They haven't said when Chicago's. They're talking mid-July about things opening up. My job, they haven't said anything about going back yet, so we're still closed.
We're kind of opening up around us. Like today, we were out at Lowe's and a couple other places, and
are people wearing masks at Lowe's or no?
It's half and half. So
I just saw somebody post a bar up in Wisconsin called the Brat Stop. You probably know it, Mark. Those guys were open.
I don't know the bar, but I can tell any Wisconsin bar is all the same.
Yeah, so they were open. People sitting next to each other, no mask, no nothing, man. It was just like a normal day.
What do you guys think about that? Is that just
I'm stay out of this conversation because the whole thing pisses me off, and I only have one word from our governor, and this is it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, same for ours too.
Yeah, I'm 3 days back working with patients, like within like their real personal space, and so far it's been okay. But it's just it's a mental mind fuck. Just making sure. Oh shit, I had to fucking wipe that down. The patient leaves, I gotta wipe the chair fucking down. It's like I'm a fucking shit. I forgot to wash my hands again, and I touched that. That I had to wash my hands. It's a mental gymnastic mind fuck.
Well, I think you've been home and Vance has been home, right? So you guys, like, I've been working through this whole thing.
I work from home too, so
So for me, it's like it's not freaking me out right now. I can totally understand what it is, you guys, because you guys have truly quarantined. I haven't.
Yeah.
So I've been out.
Yeah.
Quarantining is for sick people. Healthy people, it's house arrest.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. And it's just
I'm going on 2 months, so yeah.
But there's that.
I wrenched my neck really bad to the point where my vertebrae is all messed up in the back, and I've seen the doctor 3 or 4 times, and they keep telling me that my pain is not essential. Fuck you.
Wow.
Let me give the governor my pain and let her not sleep for a month and see how she feels about it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty pissed about the whole thing.
Not that you all need to know this, but I got a surgery that I need to get done on my big toe. What a fucking conversation we're going out. Anyway, but, I got
shit now.
I got a tumor underneath my big toenail that I have to get fucking removed, and it's called an elective surgery, right? Wow. Now I'm in the medical field, and I call my podiatrist. I'm like, dude, I say, dude, but no, we're not doing elective surgeries quite yet. But now it seems that in this upstate New York area, all counties are now opening up for elective surgeries. So, but I mean, the hospitals here are not overrun with people at the ICU, okay, or anybody overrun with the virus. And it's just there's a fine line between
everybody just needs to be careful. You know what I mean? Like, wear your mask
exactly.
if you want to wear a mask. If you don't, whatever.
Or what is the guy Spinal Tap? There's a fine line between clever and stupid. Right? But anyway, I don't mean to go off on a tangent. But dude, doing my job is fine, but the added stuff is just it's like learning how to dance again.
Yeah.
Hi.
Bye, buddy. Another one of my grandkids.
Sweet. All right, that's it. I'm gonna, wind it down there. Okay,
that's cool.
So, all right, y'all.
Everybody good? Yeah. We'll do this again.
Keep rocking.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for inviting us back, buddy.
Later, Aaron. Thanks.
Later, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Later.